Assalamu alaikum, family. Excuse me. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing well. Hope you're having a blessed and wonderful day, or have had a blessed and wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, second day of the work week. So I hope everything is going well for you. And the likelihood that if you're having one of those days, because we know in this life a little rain must fall. Always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. Speaking of rain, we have a hell of a day out here in the Bay Area. It's windy and rainy, and it's been that way all day. And we're under flood advisories. So we didn't get any rain all the month of January up until the last day. I think, yeah, January 31st. That's when we got rain. But we didn't get rain for mostly all of January. Now we getting hammered out here. We started yesterday. Um, it didn't rain Sunday, but it did rain Friday and Saturday. And today we getting hit hard. We having a massive storm out here. Like I said, it's rain and wind. Wind gusts 20 miles, 25 miles. Um, and we under flood advisory. So those of y'all in the Bay Area who may be tuning in or see this, be safe. If you don't have to go out in these conditions, do not go out. Do not. Be smart and drive conducive to the weather conditions. Do not drive the speed limit or over. It's bad out here. All right, again. So with that being said, getting to the topic for this video, we know on last Wednesday there was a plane crashing at Reagan International Airport in D.C., which is right on the Potomac River. 67 people perished, unfortunately. 64 people on the plane, and three crew members in a Black Hawk helicopter. They collided with each other. I think it was American Airlines flight coming from Wichita, Kansas, um, collided with a Army Black Hawk helicopter. 60 passengers on the plane, four crew members, total of 64 on the plane, and then three crew members on a Apache helicopter. The Black Hawk. 67 altogether. People perished. Um, they pulled the wreckage out from the river today, where the remaining remnants of the wreckage. They pulled it out from the Potomac River today. I think at last time I saw, they had recovered, I think maybe 50 something bodies, maybe 52 or 53 bodies. I think that's what I saw. My condolences go out to the families, um, and the victims of this horrific crash, which should not have happened. Um, yeah, my condolences, my prayers go out to y'all. May Allah give you console you and just comfort you during this tough time. So let's just remember the family members, the victims' families. Sad, sad. Yeah, and I saw that they got the black boxes. I saw that they got that a couple days ago. Thank you for tuning in, brother Will. Appreciate it. Salute. Thank you, good brother. Thank you for your support too. Don't go unnoticed. I want to just give you a quick shout out. But yeah, that's just sad, man. It's just, and I wanted to wait to do this video. I was gonna do it on Thursday, but I said let me wait. I want to hear all the facts because it's not good when things like this happen. It's not good to just jump out there and just say your opinions. Sometimes you have to, even though you're entitled to your opinion, but you have to get the facts right. You have to, you know, dot your I's and cross your T's when it comes to things like this. And I didn't want to just jump out there and just spew some nonsense. So that's why I waited. And we still don't know. And it's been 6 days. So the facts still haven't come all out. Um, I know I've heard people say, well, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. It was the reason for the crash. I don't know what people. We live in a day and age when people say things, they just throw it everywhere. DEI didn't have a damn thing to do with these people losing their lives. First of all, it's insensitive. Second of all, it's not true. It don't matter who was working in the air traffic control, whether it was a male or female, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. Hispanic, it does not matter. What matter is if the person is qualified for the job. And that's what people are saying, well, the air traffic control, they hire people who are not qualified. We don't know that. We don't know that as of yet. What we do know is that 67 people lost their lives. This was a horrific this was a horrific event, a tragedy that could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. Now, one thing I do know about the DMV, DC, Virginia, that area. I've flown into Reagan International Airport a couple of times. Beautiful airport. It's right off the Potomac River. Um, the Washington Monument is on one side, the Pentagon is on another side, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot, and with that being said, there are 3 Air Force bases. Um, I'm sorry, 3 Air Force bases, 3 airports in the DMV area. You have Reagan International, you have Dulles, and you have BWI, Baltimore Washington International. That's all in that area. So you have 3 airports. On top of that, you have Army bases. I don't know all the Army bases there. What's the? I don't. I'm not. Uh, I know a couple, but they escape me at the moment. But you have 2 Air Force bases. I know for sure. You have Andrews Air Force Base, and you have Bolling Air Force Base. Yeah, that Bolling. So it's a crowded airspace. That I do know about the DC, the DMV area. Yep, Bolling Air Force Base, or Bowling, I should say. Bowling Air Force Base. I always call it Bowling. Bowling Air Force Base. Bowling, Andrews, Dulles, BWI, and Reagan International, and the Army bases that's there. So it's a crowded airspace. I dare say it's probably the most crowded airspace in the country. So you got a lot of stuff going on. The Black Hawk was on a training mission. Okay. The Reagan International got flights coming and going. Dulles got flights coming and going. BWI. All this is going on. The president flies into Andrews. Crowded airspace. Crowded airspace. But on that night in particular, the Black Hawk was on a training mission. You had this flight coming in. My thing is, the did the air traffic controllers alert the pilots that there was a helicopter? Because they said the Black Hawk, you can't see it, especially at night, but they have flashes of lights. They have at the bottom of it. There are flashes of lights. I heard an aviator post this. I saw an aviator post this on X. He says there are little flashing dots, lights. Could the air traffic controller see these lights? Could the crew members on the Black Hawk see the lights of the plane coming? Well, especially that part, because you have a big ass plane and you can't see the lights, the landing, I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right about this. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I will admit that conspiracies do exist. I will acknowledge that they do. Until we get the facts, I don't want to go down that road. But I just have so many questions. It's a right to have questions. The air traffic controller couldn't see the helicopter on the radar or something that was on the radar. The pilots couldn't see the lights from the helicopter from the Black Hawk. The crew members from the Black Hawk, they couldn't see the lights from the plane. And I heard people say that it was a crew chief. I'm sorry, a former crew chief. He posted, I think it was 2 days after the crash. He posted on X that sometime the crew on the Black Hawk, they get busy. The pilots are communicating with each other. The crew chief, he's checking the how much fuel the chopper has, different things, different mechanisms. So they get busy in their task and they're not focused on what's around them on the outside. That very well may be the case in this situation. I don't know. I'm not an aviator. I don't know the what goes on with those type of jobs, a crew chief. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I do. Those who know, I just hear what they have to say, and just let them until they're proven wrong. Then we just have to take their word for what it is. You have to take them at their word. But with that being said, that still doesn't mean that I don't have questions. I'm not an expert on aviation. Don't claim to be. But I'm just saying, I would think that if you're in a Black Hawk helicopter and you're a pilot, can't you see what's coming towards you? The lights from the airplane? It's a big ass plane. And if you a pilot on this American Airlines flight, couldn't they see this helicopter? Granted, it may have been tougher for them to see it than for the Black Hawk, but and it was a clear night. From the video, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was a clear, crisp night. I know it's been cold in DC over the last month. They've been having frigid temperatures down there, but something's just not adding up. Am I making sense? And then back to the air traffic controllers, they couldn't see anything on the radar. They couldn't alert the pilot, hey, you may want to avoid, I'm just, I don't know. Something's not adding up. Again, my condolences and my prayers go out to the families. I'm sorry for you all's loss. I'm so sorry because it did not have to happen. This could have been avoided. Moving up the I-95 corridor, 100 miles northeast Philadelphia. 2 days later, a plane, a small passenger plane, crashed in northeast Philadelphia, killing all six on board and one on the ground. I think 18 were injured and they're in the hospital. But this was a medevac flight on its way to Mexico. And the people on the plane were Mexican citizens. And there was a little girl who was killed, her mother, of course, the pilot, and there was a medevac flight. But looking at the video of that crash is disturbing because the plane just nosedives. I mean, it just like falls out the sky, nosedives. I'm like, whoa. Just and my thing is, it looked like a missile. Exactly, that's what it looked like. It looked like something a missile. That's exactly what it looked like. That's kind of sketchy too, brother, because um what the hell? What the hell? Normally when you see plane crashes or hear of them, the planes go like this and just, you know, they don't nosedive. They don't go straight down. They go like at an angle. I'm just saying. Again, I'm not a aviation expert. I don't claim to be, but this thing nosedived straight down. Normally, planes come down, at an angle when they're about to crash into something or crash. They're built to glide, not nosedive. That's very fishy. Again, my condolences go out to the 7 people who perished, the 6 on the plane and the 1 on the ground. May Allah, give you consolation and comfort during this time. You have my condolences and you have my prayers. 7 lives lost. That's a total of 74 people who perished in a 2-day span in plane crashes. 67 in DC and 7, including the person who was on the ground in Northeast Philly. That was just, and then people lost their homes because their homes caught on fire. So now they're displaced. That neighborhood, the houses in that neighborhood. I'm just thankful that more lives weren't lost because it could have been worse. It could have been a whole lot of people because that plane crash happened near a strip mall or a mall or something like that. So could you imagine if that plane would have crashed in the parking lot of that mall or in a store or in that neighborhood in some people's homes? Could you imagine? God forbid. I'm just thankful that it weren't more casualties. 7 is a lot. 7 is a lot. But all praises due to Allah that it weren't more. So I'm thankful for that. But that's fishy because planes are like brother said, they're meant to glide. They're built to glide, not nosedive. So that's fishy. I have questions about that. Um, were there issues with the plane? If there were issues with the plane, why weren't the mechanics why weren't they fixed before the plane took off? Why was the plane allowed to take off? If there weren't any issues, everything was fine with the plane. Was something with the pilot? Was he under the what was he okay? Was he clear to fly? I mean, was he under any substances? Was he sleepy? I don't know. So just so many questions. That's fishy. And yes, in Houston, yeah, that was in Houston at George Bush Intercontinental. A plane caught fire. Thankfully, there weren't any injuries and there weren't any casualties. We all praises due to Allah for that. Um, and what's funny, I shouldn't say what's funny, but what's crazy is that on Sunday, my wife and my sister-in-law are flying to DC into Reagan International. So please pray that they have traveling grace and Allah grant them traveling mercy and grace. Please. On the 20th of this month, which is my 49th birthday, I'm flying to Chicago, inshallah, for Savior's Day. So pray for your brother, and I'm gonna pray as well that I have traveling mercy and grace. Wife going to DC, my wife and sister-in-law going to DC on Super Bowl Sunday. They're leaving that morning from Oakland, flying to DC, flying into Reagan International. So I'm praying, and y'all pray too. Inshallah, that they get there safely. And then on the 20th, again, my 49th birthday, I'm flying to Chicago for Savior's Day. So I'm praying for my safety, the safety of other brothers and sisters that are flying there, and whomever who may be going to Chicago for Savior's Day, that we have, that Allah will protect us, give us grace and mercy, because we need it. And there was something in Detroit, at Detroit's airport. The media loves to scare. When it's things of this, like with these airplanes, they want to scare. People want to throw terrorism out there. Oh, it's terrorism, terrorism, DI. These things happen. It's very rare that there are two plane crashes in the span of 48 hours. It's very rare. That plane crash in DC, the one in Philly, that was rare. So let's not allow the media to scare us. Oh, these planes falling out the sky. I don't know if I'm gonna fly. I got a trip to Europe. I got a trip to Africa coming up. I'm going here. I'm going there. I don't know. I may cancel my trip. I may just drive. Don't let them scare you. These things happen. It's unfortunate, yes. Granted, it's unfortunate, but it happens. It should not happen, but it happens. But there are a lot of things that happen. A drunk driver driving the wrong way, killing a whole family, that shouldn't happen. People being sleepy behind the wheel, killing themselves or harming themselves and others, that shouldn't happen, but it happens. People speeding when it's icy outside, or the rain, or the roads are slick, and they cause an accident, hurting themselves or killing themselves and harming and killing others. That shouldn't happen, but it does. When it's real foggy outside and you can't see 5 feet in front of you, let alone 2 feet, and people speed and they run into a vehicle, and a vehicle runs into that vehicle, causing a chain reaction, causing people to be injured and sometimes killed, that happens. It shouldn't happen, but it does. My point in saying all this is that accidents happen. They could be avoidable, yes. Granted, they could be avoided. I get that. But it happens. So we cannot just let the media scare us. And with all these car crashes that I mentioned, imagine the media scare people. Well, I'm afraid to leave the house. All these people being killed by drunk drivers, people who sleepy, people who drive the wrong way, people who speed when the weather's bad or whatever. I ain't leaving the house. I could be killed. Then you're gonna stay in the house. You're not gonna go anywhere. You're just gonna stay cooped up in the house. Well, guess what? You could get killed in your own home. Someone could break in. That shouldn't happen, but it does. You could get electrocuted. You could fall in the shower, die in your sleep. Anything can happen. drown drinking a glass of water. It goes down the wrong pipe, whatever, and then you drown. Or you walking and you trip and hit your head against the table, bust your head open. Anything. My point in saying this again is anything can happen at a moment's notice. We have to use caution as much as possible, but we were not meant here to stay. I'm not being cruel in saying that. I'm just saying we cannot live our lives in fear. We just can't. And we cannot allow the media, 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 most effective devil in America. The media, most effective devil in America. Media. We cannot allow them to scare us into not living our lives. They did that during 9/11, the terror scare. Then after 9/11, it was anthrax. Y'all remember this? And it worked. We cannot live our lives in fear, y'all. We can't. So don't allow the most effective devil in America to scare you. Use all these fear tactics. That's what they do. Fear is big business here in this country. You can make billions of dollars off of people's fear. They did it during the COVID-19. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. They had children playing basketball with masks on. You cannot breathe. How is air coming out? The air is suppressed. You jogging and running down the court, and the air is not escaping. It's being recycled. It's a miracle that none of these children passed out on the court. I saw this. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But notice, no NBA players were wearing masks. No college players were wearing masks. Why is that? But you have children in middle school, and I think some high schools were wearing masks while playing basketball. Are you insane? That's scary again. I had a family member, elderly. This person was watching CNN from the time they got up to the time they went to bed. That's all they had their TV on. This was a family member of mine. That's all they had their TV on was CNN. They would get dressed, put on a mask, and in their house had a mask on in their home. You heard me right. Had a mask on in their home watching CNN. Someone would come over, they couldn't come inside the house, even if they had a mask on. Just insane. Now you rarely see people wearing masks. Why is that? Is the COVID scare over? Did it disappear? It's a game. It is a game. The media is playing games with us. It's a billion-dollar business. Yes, you should still wash your hands. Yes, put on hand sanitizer, all that. If you have a cold or something of that nature, then yeah, you should wear a mask so you won't, germs. I get that. I get that. But if you're just totally fine, then you notice that businesses have lifted the mask requirements. Why is that? They don't check your temperature no more. It's crazy. So hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. I said all that to say is that we can't allow ourselves to be fearful of flying. Flying is a wonderful experience. And it's true, you're safer in the air than you are on the ground. There are more car crashes than there are plane crashes, helicopter crashes. There are more people being killed in traffic accidents here on the ground than there are in airplanes crashing and helicopters crashing. It's facts. And thank you, brother. My bad for that. Thank you for your prayers for their safety and my safety. I appreciate that, my good brother. Thank you. So, we gotta live our lives, y'all. Again, it's unfortunate these 74 people, 67 in DC, 7 in Philly, that they lost their lives. It's unfortunate. And the person in Philly, the one person, they were on the ground. I guess they got killed by the debris or the fire or whatever, but they were on the ground. So what? You're not gonna walk outside now? Something may fall from the sky and hit you. It's always gonna be something. There's always rare occurrences of things happen that don't normally happen. It's part of life. Again, my condolences to the families of those 67 that were lost in that crash in DC, and my condolences to the 7 that was lost to that crash in Philly. Y'all in my prayers. May Allah give you consolation and comfort during this time. Let's just remember these families, y'all. But again, I just have so many questions, just so many. Hopefully, within the next few days and next few weeks, these questions will get answered. The family members of the people on these planes, they will get answers to their questions. They will get some sort of comfort, some sort of peace. I pray to Allah that they will. It shouldn't happen, but you know, we weren't meant to stay here. We can't live forever. On that note, I'm gonna hop off of here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. I would love, love, love to see your comments. We don't have to agree, even on this. We don't have to agree. You may think I'm wrong on what I said. That's fine. It's fine and dandy. However, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's do that, y'all. In our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, and respect and facts, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. Share this video, share it, share it, share it. Share it as much as you want and as much as possible. Support my YouTube channel here and my future projects. Please, I need y'all love and support. I can't do these without y'all. So thank you. I love y'all immensely. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy, now more than ever before. So please be safe. And I say that, and said it a couple of minutes ago. We can't live our lives in fear, but just beware and be aware. Just be cognizant of your surroundings, what's going on around you, brothers as well as sisters. There's a lot going on out here. So next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Inshallah. I love y'all. Have a blessed day. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.